Joining us now is former Ohio Governor John Kasich. He was also a Republican presidential candidate in 2016, and he's a former member of the House. Don't you miss the House, Governor Kasich? I know you miss being there. You could have a different speaker every couple of months. Motions to vacate.
You know, I was there, Andrea, in 1986. I hate to take people back. I was just a kid then.
I remember.
But that's when we passed a bipartisan bill to deal with the immigration problem. And it seemed as though we could have cooler heads and we could figure out how to have border security and let people have an ability to come in here legally. And we got that done. And it was done under Ronald Reagan and involved some form of amnesty. And it was pretty good for a while, but in recent years, you know, it's become completely and totally politicized. And that's why we're not making any progress down there, to be honest with you. And they can say, oh, well, Trump had it all figured out. No, he didn't. Part of the reason why we didn't have the flow was because of COVID. But look, if you're going to be able to solve this problem, Republicans and Democrats have to do it together. Border security, legal immigration. And because right now, people on all sides feel that there's chaos at that border, Andrea, and that chaos means there's a lot of bad stuff that could come in here. So it is imperative that we get something done.
Well, the Senate has agreed on a bipartisan compromise. Senator Langford of Oklahoma is one of the more conservative senators. He was leading the way on this for the Republicans in the Senate. It does reportedly change asylum laws and give the president authority to shut down the border. And now, after Donald Trump came out against it, all these House Republicans say they're against it. The Speaker's going to make a speech, we're now told, tomorrow about this, being against it. He said last week it's dead on arrival in a statement he put out. And, you know, now they say the president can do it on his own. And he said this morning when he was going to the Marine One on the South Lawn, he said, give me the authority. I don't have the authority. These are the same people who sued him, the attorneys general from Republican states, sued him for executive orders when he first started taking action on a number of things, for doing too much that wasn't legislated.
Well, there's no question there's hypocrisy here. Secondly, this gives an opportunity for Republicans who want to be problem solvers to be able to work with Democrats. If that package should come out of the Senate, it should give them the courage to stand up. Whether they will or whether they won't, I don't know. I will tell you, in my opinion, Andrea, Joe Biden, this is the second time that I've seen him do this. He did it on inflation, where he said everything in the economy is good, and now he has to play catch-up to say, oh, no, it's not perfect yet. And on the border, for a while they were saying, oh, everything's okay. It's not okay. And so just talking in front of Marine One or anything else, if I were Joe Biden, I probably would do some kind of a primetime event, some kind of a televised event to tell people, look, we've got Republicans in the Senate that want to do this. We've got Democrats in the Senate that we want to do this. Now we get over in the House, and because Donald Trump says he's not for any bill, that they're all going to vote against it. That is not acceptable to the American people. I'm making the case I want to control the border. Was I always perfect in the past? No. But can we get it improved in the future? Yes. And I think there is a reluctance on the part of leaders to admit that sometimes they didn't get it right away. There's nothing wrong with saying, I didn't always get it right. I used to say it, Andrea, I think it works. And so people don't know what is going on in terms of Joe Biden. And if he's smart, he'll put the pressure on the Republicans in the House.
Do you think the answer is impeaching the Homeland Security Secretary who's involved in these negotiations?
It's just, you know, again, they ought to be selling tickets, Andrea, to this stuff, because it's wild. It's more crazy than the Succession show on on streaming. You know, you can't figure this stuff out. But the fact is, we need a bipartisan solution to control the border. The American people favor immigration, but controlled immigration, legal immigration. And I tell you, the parties involved have to get to the faith groups. They've got to get to labor. They've got to get to the business groups, form a coalition to be able to finally deal with this border and the issue of immigration. Because as you know, Andrea, if you're living in Venezuela, you're a mom and you've got some kids and your kids are being threatened, you're going to leave and you're going to go somewhere to be safe. And the safest haven is the United States. In an orderly way, it can all work, but we have to do it together.